What's good, YouTube? It's I, Uncle Mike, and this is my very first cooking video. As promised, I've been saying that I was going to do these for a while. I did a steak video a long time ago, but now I'm going to start doing the cooking series in lieu of, or not in lieu of, but in conjunction with my weight loss journey. Most of my dishes are feel-good, comfort food that I've learned over the years, so those ones I still do, but because I'm on my weight loss journey, I'm going to be taking a healthier approach. This video is going to be about my herb crusted chicken that I posted on Facebook the other day. I have made some adjustments to it just for the fact that I am trying to lose weight, so normally, you know, sodium and all that kind of stuff, just kind of trying to cut back on that. But along with any diet, you have to exercise. You can't, you can lose weight with just dieting, but my main killer for me was exercise. But going forward, I'm going to be cooking my herb crusted chicken, and I'll tell you some substitutes of seasonings that you can use that I'm just using because that's what I have on hand. I broke until I get my budget going. So I do apologize about the sound quality. I am recording on my cell phone, so we will address that going forward as the channel progresses and as the budget gets better. I'll get better equipment, so forth and so forth. So in the meantime, sit back, watch the show. Alrighty guys, we got here is my cast iron pan. I like to cook on cast iron because it ends up cooking it a little bit more evenly no matter what your heating surface is. The only problem with cast iron, though, you have to be very careful, is that if you turn it on too high, it'll retain the heat and burn your food. A lot of people, when they use the cheap pans, they put everything on high because they have to. This one, you can preheat your pan at medium, and then I would say put it medium high for everything, even steaks, unless you want to get that good sear, and then you put it on high. But other than that, I keep mine on a 1 to 10, 7 cooking. We'll be eating with this herb crusted lemon crusted chicken, some green beans. I have a mixture of French cut and regular cut in here, and some rice. The green beans are from the can. They're on sale for a good price. They already have a lot of sodium in them for storage and upkeep. So what I like to do is I like to rinse the heck out of them before I put them in there. I didn't add any salt. All I did was add pepper. Normally I'd add a little bit of butter, but since we're trying to lose weight, I cut down on the butter. So what I have here is chicken thighs. Normally I would use chicken breast, but as I said, I'm just using what I got. Cut them up into little chunks. Fresh ground pepper. If you have yourself a pepper mill, if you don't, get one. Fresh ground pepper, and what else I used was First Street's lemon and herb seasoning. This does have a high sodium content, so I would probably use, for this amount of chicken, a full teaspoon or a tablespoon at most. A little bit more, but a little does go a long way with it. And I also did fresh minced garlic, as well as some Pompeian extra virgin olive oil smooth. I like using olive oil, and Pompeian brand is usually on sale, so that's what I got. So I cut this up into chunks earlier. Got my pan heated up. And what I did when I seasoned it, I put the pepper first, the garlic, and I put about 1.5 tablespoons of garlic. Garlic's always good to put in there. Very little olive oil, just enough to coat it, because when you cook chicken thighs, end up getting a little bit of the fat out of there anyway. But when you do the chicken breast, you can put a little bit more. But you don't want to put too much because you don't want it to be greasy. You want the chicken to be nice and tender. The lemon seasoning, and I just mixed it up. It's only been sitting for about 30 minutes, 45. It doesn't need long. It's not like a steak or anything. The First Street lemon and herb seasoning is very good at flavor. If you don't want to use that, you can always substitute it for, end up finding it last minute, some Mrs. Dash. It's salt-free. It doesn't have as much flavor, but it still does the job. So we got our pan all nice and hot. Ooh. There we go.
had that powder.
You only had smell-o-vision. Well, this is pretty much it. You get your nice cast iron pan. Now, what I would like to mention that a lot of people do make a mistake on. I have a fan here. I'm going to blow away the smoke, or at least get it out of the way. But a lot of people make a mistake here at this point. Let me make sure that's good on. Is I like to add a little bit more seasoning. If you've used the right seasoning, and me, technically I don't use measuring spoons. I've been cooking for so long that, just pouring it on, I know how much is going on there. But what a lot of people like to do is put more seasoning on it.
Bam! Bam!
But no need to add any extra seasoning. Also, and when it comes to the trick of marinating to help keep the salt content down, if you're going to add any salt and you're going to have it sit overnight, don't add the salt till the very next day and you're about to ready to cook. That way it doesn't get so salty. Some people don't like it that way. And it's not really healthy for you. But as you can see, now that the initial pop and sizzle of the pan is cooled down, you just keep on cooking. A lot of people are like, oh my God, it's not cooking, you gotta turn it up. Nope. That's why I like cast iron. It'll retain heat and slowly build it back up as soon as you add the cooking. You start turning it up too much, that's when you tend to burn the outside and not cook the inside. Especially with chicken, you don't want to undercook it. And you just keep stirring. See a little bit of the juices in there. That's good. Let's see here. That's a little bit lower. That's 7. Alright. Now when it comes to cast iron, I'm going to do a little tip. Each cooking surface is different. On this cooking surface, I like to keep it no higher than 7. But when it comes to other ones, if you have an open flame, depending on what size burner you have, what size pan, it all depends on that surface or that heating element and how your pan's going to react to it. Especially good old, these are mainly used for camping, but as you can see, you can use them anywhere. Let's see, look, there's a little bit of time, heat came back up and they're starting to cook. Now, depending on the amount of oil you used or the amount of fat content in your chicken, you'll be cooking this. And it'll be fully cooked all the way through, but you're not going to be able to brown it. If that's the case, just get your backup skillet, put it on another burner. This one you can put a little bit higher, because all you're going to do is brown. Like I said, all this is green beans from a can. Preferably, I like to get the frozen ones because those are as close to fresh as possible and they don't have as much salt content. Normally, I'd put butter, salt, pepper, but since these ones came from the can, I don't need to add the salt. I rinse them thoroughly before putting them in here. This is fresh water. Add a fresh ground pepper and then just put it on here. There's a mix of French cut and regular cut green beans just because, I'm just pulling cans as they come down. Me preferably, I like the French cut, but it's green beans. For me, any cut of green beans, except Italian cut, those are weird. But, this is a good side dish.
Go to hell!
Normally I do peas and carrots, those are a little bit healthier. But tonight I want a green bean. Probably fast forward through a lot of this, so you guys are just sitting here standing with me. Judging by the amount of fat content coming back out of the chicken, because right about now is when the chicken should be done cooked. It doesn't take long for the little riblets, or when you cook them like this in this style, it doesn't take too long for them to be cooked all the way through, especially with the juices floating around it. So what I'm going to do is get my secondary pan. Now that I've gotten my secondary pan out, all this pan is being used for is to brown the chicken, because the chicken in the other pan end up having a little bit more fat content than normal. I didn't use that much olive oil, but as you can see, the broth that's coming out, it would take a while for it to cook through or cook over and then start to brown. You can do that if you want, but you know, just to save time, it's just one extra pan. Dishes aren't that hard.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
A little sizzle there.
Spread that butter.
Yep. And you just keep stirring it. It's okay for it to stick to the pan. That's normal. Especially when you got the fresh garlic and it's thigh meat, so there's going to be a little bit of fat content or skin left on there. So that's normal. So it's just me and Janae tonight. So normally, because of this household, we have friends over and they want to eat at different times. I use this pan to fry up the chicken as the individual is ready. But since I want to do a nice presentation, I'm going to cook up a nice, decent amount. That way I can show you one plate. And as you can tell, I'm not turning up the pan too high. I just want it to brown. Make sure got some of that burnt garlic or roasted garlic part there. And you just let it sit. Once you stir it around, make sure it's even. And I don't know if you can tell, but you can start to tell the color difference from browning versus whatever. You can leave it like that if you want to, if that's how you like the chicken. Me, I like a little brown. Don't blacken it. That's cancerous and it's not good for you. I mean, you can do it if you want to. It's America. But, you know, it also makes the chicken tougher. Good rule of thumb when browning, especially if it's already cooked, you got this amount of juice, every 15 seconds, flip it, or mix it up. But then, what we'll start getting is a nice, even brown. And like I said, you see all this? That's just the garlic. That's the fresh minced garlic. You can use garlic powder if you want to avoid that. But why not use fresh garlic while you have the chance? Give me a second. I'll put it on a plate so you guys see what the presentation is. Alrighty guys, here's the final presentation. And those smudges are just from, you know, greasy fingers and all that. But we have about a cup of rice. I don't know, let's say a little bit over a fistful of chicken, a little bit over a fistful of green beans. And that's it. That's Uncle Mike's lemon crusted herb, lemon and herb crusted chicken. Not much to it. Chicken breasts or chicken thighs, a little bit of smooth extra virgin olive oil, fresh garlic or garlic powder, depending on what you got. I get the minced garlic from the vegetable section. First Street lemon and herb seasoning or Mrs. Dash, and fresh ground pepper. And this would be me starting to eat more healthier. Some of you might argue that, you know, there's still a little bit of fat, blah blah blah, but hey, this is healthier than a burger and fries or some pizza and some wings. So even though that sounds good, this is delicious, and I will see you guys on the next cooking video. Please hit like or subscribe at the bottom. And if there's some healthy dishes you want me to try out, please comment me or email me on my YouTube page on what that recipe is, and I will get the ingredients and give it a try. And until next time, thank you for cooking with Uncle Mike, and I'm about to eat the hell out of this. Deuces.
Well, you forgot to flip them off, but other than that, nice job.